Don't know. Here I out when I sing, make you know. Don't know. Nobody could have come touch the floor. Don't know. Original style, so we go. Don't know. King Duff if you run the whole show. Don't know. One make those ball out.
So it's your boy Season2, the hip hop original, and we're here back again. This is season 2 of the head-to-head interview series, episode number 7. And tonight I'm joined by an amazing, incredible Emcee, lyricist, producer. You know, one of my personal favorite MCs, man. And it's definitely a pleasure, a personal pleasure for me to finally get to sit down and chop it up with this legend, man. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the head-to-head platform, the one and only Mr. K9. How you doing, sir?
Salute, Season2, salute, Connoisseurs of hip hop, salute, freshers. Yeah, man, blessed to be here, man. Thank you for that lovely intro. We know each other for a while. You've seen each other for ages. But it's so funny, we've never actually really sat down and reasoned. You and I never sat down and reasoned, so this is the first.
That's why, man. Literally, when we was putting together the lineup for season 2, I was like, yes, and we need to get K9, man. We need to get K9 on this. And I'm so appreciative that you agreed to come and sit down with us tonight, man. So that's all to the good, man. But without further ado, man, let's jump into that first question. The question we always ask, K9, how did you find yourself in hip hop, man?
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, I was a little youth, and at the time, let me see. Right, so let me give you a story. My dad went and worked in Saudi Arabia. So my mom and dad come from Jamaica here, yeah. Bought this yard that we're in now, that I'm in now. I'm in my mom's yard now. And my dad went to go and live and work in Saudi Arabia. So I got 3 older siblings. So when I was 7, my mom took me to go and live with my dad in Saudi Arabia. So we was there for about 4 years, right? And when we was there was a record shop across the road, with TDK tapes across the road. And I knew nothing about no music, but somehow, I remember this Michael Jackson, I was on a Michael Jackson. But somehow when I went there was 3 things I saw, I remember. And I've never seen black people looking this cool. 3 images on a TDK tape. I saw the Fat Boys, and the mere fact that these 3 black brothers were actually calling themselves fat, which was supposed to be derogatory. It was blowing my mind. I said, they're actually owning it. And it just looked so cool. I saw LL Cool J and I saw Run DMC. And I didn't even hear it. Based on the imagery alone, I said, I want that right there. So I got those tapes, and that was the entry to hip hop for me. So that was as a fan.
Yeah.
And then as a musician, that didn't come till years later. Years later, I returned to London and I was working in home base. My brother was a rapper. And you know, as a hip hop fan, we recite lyrics all the time. And we recite our favorite verses. At the time, my favorite verse was Prodigy, Shook Ones. Shook Ones are one of the, no, not Shook Ones, the next one. There's a war going on. Is that Shook Ones? Yeah. That was my favorite verse. So he was like, yo, rap something for me, son, rap something for me. And I was so shy, Season2. I was so shy. Eventually he got me to rap the Mobb Deep, the Prodigy verse. He's like, you can rap, you know, you should come studio. I was like, for what, man? I had no interest in making music. Anyway, fast forward, I went studio with him. It was the most boring experience of my life. The first time I ever went studio, listen, if I was the type to fall off the horse and never go back, I would not be doing music. Because if you're not participating in a studio session, you're sitting down. If you're not really feeling the music, you're sitting down. You're just, especially if artists like, because it was him and it was his 3 cousins, they're all singers, right? They took forever to do their verses, yeah? So I was just bored. He went in and just smashed it one time. Anyway, that was my intro, and I can't cut a long story short, it's really long, but he just brought me further and further in and just kind of bullied me into the music. You know what I mean? And then I just kind of found a love for it, and I never stopped, never put it down.
Wicked, man. So was it a case that in terms of hip hop, was writing lyrics your first element that you got into? Was it just straight to the pen?
I can't remember. I feel like, yes, it was. I'll tell you why, because they had a rap crew, and there's one brother that was a little bit shaky, with his commitment. And at the time, my brother was bringing me in, Mike Dark, he was bringing me in to like start writing, start doing songs and stuff. And then he said to me, yeah, come and perform. And it was at Lambeth College, the Clapham Common campus, and I was bricking it. I was so shy. Yeah. Luckily, it went extraordinarily well, and you know, so we continue. But yeah, I guess I was rhyming first, and then he showed me how to make beats on the Atari. No, there was no color. It was some old thing. And I'll tell you when it was. I can tell you exactly when it was. Grave Digger's first album. Was it the first one or the second one? Then the one with The Night the Earth Cried, the white cover, that had been out very recently. That's when I started making beats. Whatever year that was.
That was 96. Yeah, I might have to double check that, but I imagine it was 96. Yeah, man. And so at the time, did you have like a name? Like, because I know we're hip hop artists, man. The first name that they get isn't necessarily the name that they stick with. So how did we arrive at K9?
This story is so corny, you know. It's so corny, right? So it was Killer 9. Yeah, and it was a battle.
Yeah,
it was a battle. Basically, it was a battle. So it was just, we was in Badgett Court Junction, and there was just a load of guys. I don't know how many of them were real MCs or not. I was just kind of learning my skill set and sharpening my tools. And it was just, people was just battling and just, you know, like you have cussing matches. It was rhyming cussing match. So like, yeah, look at your Nike Airs, and I killed 9 MCs. It's mad corny, you know, but that's it. And then eventually I dropped the Killer. I said, yeah, the Killer thing don't sound too good.
So the Killer, what, evolved into King 9?
Yeah, King 9, Knowledge of Self 9, K9, you know what I mean? Yeah. And 9's like, 9 is in numerology, it's like aspiration to like completion and spiritual enlightenment and stuff.
Wicked, man. So when was the first time, obviously you started rhyming with the crew, but when was the first time you looked at yourself as an MC and you thought, you know what, I can do this at a professional level now?
To be honest with you, it was a lot of fun to me. I was never really like serious with it. And when I first started rhyming, I sounded like I came from Queensbridge. Yeah, so let's be very clear. I did not sound like I sound like right now. Yeah, back in those days, you could almost count on one hand. The amount of artists that was really, there was a good few, but like there weren't that many that I was feeling. Yeah, there weren't that many that I was feeling. And then I don't know if this is coincidence or fate, but the one rapper I was really feeling was the guy that I linked up with, which was Black Swag. He was the guy I was feeling because the way that he rhymed for me, it had some of the yard twang in it. It had some for me, it sounded like if I was gonna rap British, that's what I would sound like.
Okay.
So he was the blueprint, as I like to say. He was the blackprint for the star that I got now, because I was straight Queensbridge. So that's my big brother. That's my big brother in music and in life. So I always have to mention his name and give him respect, because if it weren't for him on many levels, I wouldn't be doing music like that. So anyway, yeah. So what was the original question?
The original question was at which point did it occur to you, like, you know what, actually I could do this as a profession?
Okay, so what happened was me and my crew was doing some mixtapes at the time called Assorted Flavors, yeah? And we were just taking the hottest tunes, throwing them on, putting some scratching on, doing our little like talk overs, like the DJ Clue tapes back in the day. And what we would do as well, because my brother had a studio in his yard, is because we could rhyme, we could make beats, we would do like 1 or 2 tracks, but it was just fun. We was just literally, we're having fun with it. We never was like, let's pursue this. Anyway, I worked in a shop in Peckham called the Real McCoy, American clothes designer shop. I managed it, right? Little did I know that the owner of that shop was childhood friends with Black Twine, right? So one day I see some Jeep pull up and I see him hop out. I'm like, what? I was just rocked, and he's a mad cool brother. So I was chatting to him and I said, yeah, take one of those, man. I do mixtapes and that. I didn't think nothing of it. The next time he came back, he said to me, yo, who is that? Who's this? Who's these guys here? So he's pointing to the track. I said, oh, so that's me and my crew, man. We just kind of thingy. Okay, cool. Who's the second one rapping? He said, that's me. I said, that's me. He said, man, you got skills, you know. You should come on the road with me. This is how the conversation went, bro.
Wow.
You should come on the road with me. I was like, because remember, I wasn't really like, I want to do this. I wasn't like I had a love for it, but I never really thought of it. So I was like, why not? I'll come on the road with you, right? I never forget the first show. First show was in Penzance. I don't know where that is, but I know it's far. It's about 5 hours drive. Yeah, we had a van, like a small little minivan hired and a driver. Yeah, Big Ted, obviously, Twang, myself, the driver. Rest in peace. Luke Biggins was there. Yeah, Luke Biggins, the video director. The first time I met Luke as well. I think that's not the first time I met Ted though, because I met Ted previously. So yeah, we went down to the show, and once again, it went really well. And as it went really well, and everything just gelled, there was chemistry. I just rolled with Twang for years. So every now and again, I still jump on stage with Twang. We're in the same venue, catch a vibe, and just jump on stage. You know what I mean? And I even do show with him. I did a show with him outside of London the other day. So we still roll. You know what I mean? We still roll. Like that link is always there. But that's when I started doing that, and I started coming outside of London and seeing the reaction. And then I said, oh, boom. And I did my first mixtape, and I said in my mixtape, I was like, okay, there's actually an appetite for what I do. I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Wicked, man. So what was the point? Because I guess the first time the masses really got to see you, man, was on the GCSE single. Yes. That was the first time I remember seeing you in the video and thing, and I was like, yeah. So was it around that time? Was that around about 2004, I think? When was it when he decided to bring you on that project, man, and feature you on a couple of the tracks?
So that, I believe, I linked up with Twang when he was touring the Kickoff album. Yeah. It was already recording everything, and he was touring that. And then I think the next one was Rotten Club. I think it was Rotten Club. And that was where GCSE was on. So it was pretty much, yeah, as soon as I kind of got with him. So but let me give you a little history about the GCSE. That beat I made for Estelle.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Gave the beat to Estelle. She loved the beat. She said, yeah, I'm going to work with the beat. This is before Estelle was huge, right? So yeah, I'm going to work with that, because we all used to kind of roll. Yeah, I'm going to work with that. Boom, 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 boom. Twang heard the beat, and he said, yeah, I like that. And he wrote the whole song to it. He wrote the hook and everything. He's like, yo, what's kind of with that beat? I said, I kind of gave it to Estelle. Yeah, man, because I got the thing. I said, all right, boom. So I just went and checked with Estelle, and she said, just make time use it. And then I jumped on it. So that's how that all happened.
Wicked. So was that your only production credit on the album, or did you?
That was my, yes, that's right. That was my only production on that particular album, yeah.
Yeah. So what was it? I guess what was the feeling like? Obviously, being featured on you'd probably say your mentor, your idol at the time, album, you know, and obviously that was like, you was kind of seen as like one of the newest sensations at the time when you listen to the album. You know, what was the feeling like? Okay, boom, it's my project after this now. Did he try and like tie the rocket ship to the back of you, or what was the situation after that album dropped? Well,
yeah, I mean, it felt good. Definitely felt good, and I realized that the power of a cosign. Do you know what I mean? I realized that it really would help to catapult me and put me in, arenas that other artists that's on the level that I was on wouldn't be able to. So I definitely never took it for granted. And I just went in and started grafting. So I was just on the mixtapes. All I was on was mixtapes. I wasn't really on doing like no EP or no project. I just wanted to rhyme on beats and just get my darts up. So I was just putting out mixtapes, loads and loads of mixtapes. Yeah, and that's about it. At some point, I went to do a single. And it's so funny, this is full circle. So I have a single coming out. I'm not sure when this will air, but it's coming out on the 17th, yeah? In 1 week, 17th of January. Single's called Done Know, right? The first single I was gonna ever put out was called Done Know. It was a different version, long time ago. And what happened is I lived in Brixton at the time. I just had my daughter, and we was in like a bad estate. We was in Mitesfield, we lived, yeah? But I never really had no problem. You know, I just move around. I don't really move like that. So anyway, so we're shooting. Luke was shooting the video for my Done Know first single. And everything was like, basically everything was lined up like, okay, cool, you're the next one. We're going to put the energy behind you and everything. Yeah. I remember like Twang's record label, Bad Magic, Wall of Sound was looking to sign me as well. So things are like, okay, cool, this can pop. So we line up for the video. Everything's good. And we're shooting it. in the estate where I'm living, which is Mikesfield. And they came out with the guns.
Right.
Came out with the guns, man, and yeah, man. They luckily they didn't get the camera. Just took some phones, jewelry. Nobody never got shot, no got hurt, but they came out with shotgun, handgun. You know what I mean? And that really shook us and put, like, for me anyway, it was like, whoa. I just had to just stop and take stock and say, yeah, can't really move like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that kind of really kind of flopped that thing, and I was kind of like, oh. So I still kind of done music, but my confidence is a bit, you know.
And how did you manage to? Because there was a bit of a break from like the early 2000s until when you dropped your first official project. So how did you regain that confidence and to the point that you released a full length?
I think I just stuck at it. And I just kind of was like, all right, I'm an overthinker. So I was thinking, why did that happen? Well, that happened because I'm not from here. Even though I've lived there, I'm not from here. So none of my man them ain't round here. I don't really know nobody on the roads around here. Nobody. I got my man them from Junction I can call. I know enough man them from Junction and some terrible man. But I don't really want all that smoke. And I don't know who could have were masked up as well. I don't know who done this to me. I got to walk around here with my baby mother and my daughter. So I can't really be on no retribution thing. So I was like, all right, cool. That happened because I'm in an estate. I'm shooting a video in an estate that's supposed to be notorious in Brixton. You know, talking about you have to get a pass and all everything there. And I don't really know nobody. And they saw opportunity. Somebody must have seen it. Must have said, yo, there's some guys, I don't know who they are, shooting a video out here. Boom, 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 come. It's easy pickings. You know what I mean? So when I realized that, I just said, oh, cool. So I just know how to move now, innit? I just continue doing my music and I move a bit more, and that was it. And then eventually I just, got to the point I put music out again.
Okay, right. So one of the things that I noticed with you at the time as well, or early, you dropped a lot of freestyle singles, and obviously you're building up the buzz, and you was featured on DJ 279's Friday Night Flavors. Bring you on as a guest. So
yeah. He showed me. Yeah, I got quite a lot of love from a few DJs. That he was one of them. Ted and Blitz, Greenpeace. There was a few of them that was like that was known as like hip hop that was showing me some love. And I did go up on to Choice with Matt Farlow on 279. Yeah.
Wicked, man. That was definitely legendary times, man. And you're also cited as the person that coined the phrase boom bap reggae.
Yeah, that's quite a new, that's only about a year and a half old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, my style is all right. So you got, let me give respect to this. I'm probably gonna miss some out here, but let me really make sure I pay the homage, yeah. There's enough, man, like us, man, we know from, not just from London, a lot of our stuff has that reggae spice in it. It has it very naturally. So obviously Black Twang, Roots Maneuver, even Skinny Man, he does his reggae thing as well. Rodney P, Nothing and Man from Birmingham. What's the brother's name? Demon Boys, brother. Oh my gosh. There's enough, man. Bigger than Ricky Rankin. There's a whole bag of man before me that was on that, yeah. But when I started to really kind of say, hold on a minute now, my thing is I do my boom bap hip hop, but even when I do it, I still might drop 2 patwa here or do a patwa chorus. So that's a hybrid. How can I call, what's it? Boom bap reggae, and it just dropped. And it's like, yeah, boom bap reggae, yeah. Let me make sure I coin that. So at least in history, they can say, all right, that style, okay, yeah, K9 coined that. At least it's something in it.
Wicked, man. So let's talk about the debut project, man, that you put out in 2014.
Yes.
The Reeducation of K9.
Yes.
So what was the inspiration for that title and the project?
Yeah, well, I'm still on a journey. I've always been on a journey like of self-discovery, identification, purpose. A lot of it's couched in kind of Black African history. I changed my actual government name. I've been to many places in Africa and done quite a few journeys. So once I started really waking up and seeing certain things, I said, wow, like when they say that we've been lied to and miseducated, like they're not playing. So there's different stages. So that's the first stage is the realization, the awareness. Okay, cool. They've been lying to me, and that's not quite true. And we didn't come from there. We may have come from there, and actually didn't quite go like that. There were different circumstances surrounding that situation. So to put it into context. So once I realized that, my music started changing and dropping kind of some of those kind of gems in there. But I didn't want to get too preachy because that's a dangerous field to get into. So any which way, I had an EP prior to this album, and it was called The Emancipation of K9. Yeah. And that was where I really said, all right, cool, I'm really gonna like move into this, like I'm gonna own this new identity and who I believe I am and stuff like that. And so one of my favorite albums of all time, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, is the inspiration for the title, The Reeducation of K9. Yeah. So that was it. I was just in the place where it's like, all right, cool, I want to talk my talk, keep it boom bap reggae, but talk my talk and give it that kind of angle. So that was it.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. And it had some amazing records on it, man, like Phantom Gods, and Break the Chains with Phoenix the Ice Fire, and also a single which was this single part of the EP, the I Know You Are, But What Am I, with Twang.
That was
released before that.
I think that was on the EP. Yeah, that was on the EP.
Okay, right. Yeah. Because I couldn't find the EP.
Yeah, because there's samples. You see, like sample clearance and stuff. But all my stuff, all of those stuff, all of my back catalogs on my Bandcamp. So if you put K9 London Bandcamp, you'll find all my back catalog there.
Okay. And so was that album entirely produced by you, or did you have?
Yeah, I produced all of my stuff. I produce all my stuff. I haven't really rhymed on other people's beats apart from when I'm doing freestyles. So I kind of really scoped the sound, yeah.
Right. So how would you say your production style has evolved, obviously, from the days when you was using Atari to where you're at now?
I think it's more musical. So when I learned the keys, I played in a few bands. I'm in a band now playing the keys, just having more of an understanding of chord progressions and feeling and emotion and space in the music, and build up of chorus and arrangement and all that stuff. So I would think I'm a bit more musically astute with the music, but also keep that balance, because in hip hop you can be very musical, but it's not necessary. Sometimes it's like the most simplest beats are what people love. I'll give you an example. The single that's about to come out, musically it's very simple. It's drums, bass and guitar. That's it. Okay. And it's a groove. So, and people like it so far. So. Okay,
and you played everything on that? Did
you play everything.
Oh, you play guitar as well?
Oh no, I don't play guitar. I play bass, but I haven't put live bass in my beats for a while. So I normally program the bass and the keyboard. I do play drums a little bit as well, and then obviously I play keys. And on the keys you can play everything, can't you? On the keys you can play your bass, you can play your drums. So yeah.
Okay, so how does obviously playing in a live band affect you as a writer as well, like as a songwriter? How do you say you've grown?
Yeah, it's amazing, because the live band I'm currently playing in, it's singers, and the type of music they do, I don't know how to describe it. It's a range, there's a range from soul to funk to something called zouk, which is like a French Caribbean type of vibe. So I'm just hearing music a lot more, because back in the day, I was on hardcore hip hop and reggae. I don't want to hear nothing else. Hardcore hip hop, reggae, and dancehall. If it were I didn't even want to hear rap with singing choruses, because that was some idiot thing. Nah, man, I want to hear the hardcore thing. Get me? But now, as I've grown and I'm matured, I'm here. I'll listen to anything. And I listen to what's this brother name, a Canadian youth. Oh man, Justin Bieber.
Oh, Justin Bieber. Okay.
I listen to Justin Bieber, and I'll listen to the music. I'll listen to like, why is he so successful? What is it about what he does? Because as a producer, I can wear a different hat from an artist. As an artist, I've got my brand. And if I step outside of that brand, it's gonna be uncomfortable for me, and it's gonna be uncomfortable for the people that like what I do. But as a producer, I can produce anything. I've produced rock, I've produced pop, I've produced anything. And I want to produce pop records because I want to be financially successful. I know I can produce bangers any day, hip hop bangers, but I want to produce pop stuff. So I definitely have a better ear being in a band.
Okay. And one thing I think that impresses me about you as well as a producer is that you actually know how to mix. And do you mix and master as well now, or?
I do mix and master, but it was a struggle, man. I'm still not a fan of it. I hate it.
Right.
I do not like it. It's actually a different discipline and art from making music. It really is. Because you've almost got to not be emotional about it at the beginning, be technical, and then at the end be emotional about it.
Right. Okay.
Because there's a process. There's a process is said, and the process is all right. Cool. I have to get all of these instruments to sit in this picture, and they've all got to have their own space, their own color, their own space to shine, and in context to one another. That can't sound too loud, and then the overall sonics has to suit the mood of it. So that's all technical stuff. But when you get to the mastering stage of the sonics, then you want to feel it. You're like, okay, cool. Let me do that master plugin and make that adjustment. And let me go outside and close the door and see if I can feel the bass. Like I want to feel the bass, like next to a Mobb Deep track or whatever it may be, when you have your references. So I do mix and master, but trust me, Scandoos, when the money comes, I'm outsourcing that quick. It's time consuming as well, man.
Yeah, but they always say, when a producer knows how to mix and master their own production, you save a lot of money on studio time. So I guess it's an advantage in the long run, really.
Yeah, it's good knowing how to do things and knowing how you want it to sound, but I still don't have it exactly where I want it. It's getting there, but then also there's equipment as well, but we're getting there.
Wicked, man. So last year you put out, would you say, is it a mixtape? Is this mixtape the official follow-up to the debut album, or?
It's a mixtape. You could call it a follow-up because I haven't really put anything out. I've just put 1 or 2 singles out. You could call it a follow-up, but it was more like kind of a lot of old songs on there. Lots of old songs that I said, you know what? It's been a while. Lockdown, I'm in my yard. Let me just make 2 new tune and put something out. And it was that. You know what I mean? Like this new EP's got quite a few old stuff on there as well and a couple of new stuff. So I'm in the mindset of, you know what, I have old tracks, sometimes 5-10 years old, that still sound decent and they should go out. And I think about Rest in Power, I think about Ty, and I think about music that the world didn't get to hear. Yeah. And it's inspired me to make sure I put my music out, like, because I've got this analysis paralysis. Oh, it's got to sound perfect, it's got to sound, and I just need to get it out. That's where I'm at now. I think everybody just get it out. Make it sound as good as you can, get it out, and then there's evidence that you walk this earth and you contribute.
Yeah. And I say that because I teach as well, and I say that to a lot of my students, man. You shouldn't. I've seen a lot of artists not put out whole albums because they're trying to perfect it. They're and exactly what you just said. But I think a lot of growth sometimes comes through putting the work out, getting the feedback, and growing from that. Yeah. We look to see an evolution and growth within artists. But you mentioned Ty, and obviously Ty put you on stage at the Jazz Cafe for Pass the Torch, which has gone down as like a legendary night now. The amount of artists that he tried to put on that night, Woo. So I mean, what was the experience? And obviously the feeling of knowing that for Ty to put you on the bill, he definitely had to feel you as an artist. So what was it like for you personally to have an endorsement from an artist like Ty and be put on that platform?
It was a beautiful thing, man. I've known Ty for years, but we wasn't close. Like, like when you're moving around, you're touring, you see the man, and we saying you're cool. You might have chat for a couple of minutes, but that's about it. And we never knew one another like that. So like in the past, probably like 2-3 years, like quite recently, we started to see one another more, and like we'd be in a chip shop and we'd be going into having debates and stuff like that and vibing. So he would see me do like more solo stuff, because a lot of the time he saw me before was with Twan. and I might do like one of my tracks. So yeah, we'd get context of my show. So he would see me do stuff, he'd be like, yeah, I like what you're doing. So it was a blessing, it was a definite blessing, and there was a lot of great artists on that night. And you know, I kind of felt bad because certain artists didn't get to perform because of time, or they performed like their time was cut short. You know, like Breeze, for example. Like I'm a fan of Breeze, so I wanted to see Breeze performing, you know. But he gracefully kind of allowed, you know what I mean? Like, okay, it's cool. So, but any which way, yeah, it was great. And Ty's a man, yeah, me and Ty had this thing about the wobble, right? So the music has to have the wobble. So you got music, hip hop that makes you go like that, yeah? But a lot of Ty's music and a lot of mine, it makes you go like that. So I'm saying, so we had the wobble. So he always used to catch joke with the wobble. And Ty, I knew if Ty was like, when I started touring with them on the Kingdom tour, I knew when Ty was around, I'd be performing and I'll just hear, pull up. He'll just go to the DJ and pull up my tune. Like, you know what I mean? So big up Ty, man. Rest in power to Ty.
Rest in power, man, and definitely a huge loss, man. You spoke about being active during lockdown. I mean, in terms of, because obviously lockdown affected artists in two different ways, really. You know, some were like creatively stagnant, and then some people just went, boom, worked on a lot of material. I mean, so for you, because the project came out in 2020, was it during lockdown as well? Did the project come out?
I believe it was around, I don't know, because it was around that. I'm not sure exactly what date, but yeah, it was around there.
Right. I mean, did you get to work on a lot of material during that period?
What I did actually was I started my beats business during lockdown. So it's like, okay, cool. I realized I had where I was working as well, I was kind of able to kind of manipulate my hours. So even though I'm working from home, you know, I wasn't like doing a 9 to 5 and all that. So I got some time on and you know, the one thing I've always complained about is a deficit of time. Always. Now I have time. What you're gonna do about it? So I said, all right, let's go. Start your beats business. Airbit, pay your subscription, build up your beats, do at least a minimum of 40 beats, then launch. And that's what I really put a lot of effort into. And then obviously I put out that project as well. So I was grafting, just knocking out beats, grafting during that time.
Wicked, man. And how is it going? Obviously, a year later, in terms of the beat company. How's
the beat is not an easy thing, you know, because here's what I thought, and I was really naive to think this. I thought that because I went on a platform, so the two main platforms for beat selling is Airbit and BeatStars, yeah. So I thought because I'm going on and I've got the top subscription, I thought I'm going into a marketplace where artists are looking for beats. So there's gonna be people that hear my beats and want to, you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. That's not how the websites work. You have to pay them to go in front of people's eyes. You have to do your own marketing, build your own networks, and bring rappers to you. So once I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, I've got to do some grafting, I've got to do some marketing. So I got to it and I did well. I was profitable in the first year, you know what I mean? I was definitely profitable. And I know what needs to be done. Basically paid ads, understanding your market and paid ads and understanding the type of beats that people consume and stuff. So it's going all right. But at the moment, to be honest, it's on pause because I'm wearing an artist hat at the moment. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you've been talking about this forthcoming EP, but you also spoke about a Black and Forth album. Is that still coming?
It's coming, man. Bro, listen, that was supposed to come out. Was it 2019? It was supposed to come out. All right. You see when Pass the Torch, the first Pass the Torch, the album was ready then.
Okay.
And I was on that analysis paralysis, like trying to get things queued up. And then boom, when COVID hit, I was like, oh my days. There's no way I could bring this out without going and doing shows. Because I feel that I gain more followers when I perform live. The online thing for me is, for a lot of people, it's an uphill, slow slug uphill. Yeah. So my thing is, if I can get out and perform in front of you, there's my best chance of impressing you, and hopefully you give me a follow and you check for my music. So I said, there's no way I can release that album. No way with the world like this, and I'm not able to go and tour it, you know? So I've got the album, ready to go, but obviously it's about 2 years old now. So I'm gonna go back in and just do some little, maybe like some adjustments, maybe add a couple new tracks. I have grown musically since then, but I'm not going to do too much to it. And then hopefully, if everything goes well, late summer, I should drop it. Late summer.
Okay, right. But before then, we got the EP coming.
Yes, sir.
Has the EP got a title yet?
Yep, it's got a title, it's got artwork, it's everything. It's called Impermanence. Yeah. Meaning nothing remains the same. Nothing is constant. Inspired by what's happened, you know, on the planet, or what's happening in the planet. Nothing stays the same. So we have to be resilient, we have to be forward thinking, we have to be prepared and malleable. I could tell you what the artwork is, but when you see it, I can't wait to put the artwork out. And for people I want to see who knows certain music, because it's homage to a classic album that's not in the hip hop genre. Okay, all right. So I want to know who knows certain music by the responses and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So it's called Impermanence. There's 5 songs, and it comes out on the 24th of February, all streaming platforms. Yeah. Okay. Prior to that, there's going to be 2 singles released. As I said, the first one is the 17th of January, called Dunno. Yeah. And the second single is called Nine's Black. Not Nine's Back, Nine's Black. And that's the 17th of February. Right. And once the project comes out, then I want to release a 3rd single after the project's out, which is called Higher Expression of Self. Okay. So Dunno video is ready. It's going to come out on the same day, on the 17th. I'm going to shoot part of Nine's Black tomorrow, and then finish it and wrap it up, and then I'll be shooting. So I'm just working. I'm grafting. Yeah. Dope. And I'm excited to hear that about the artwork, man, because I know you're a man that goes in and attention to detail when it comes to the presentation as well, you know? So definitely looking forward to seeing that, man. That's incredible. And is the project coming out under your own label? Yes, there are a couple of people I've been talking about, but I've never been a man to wait. I just can't wait. When it's time, man. You know, so if you want me to move on your time and it's not, well, I gotta go, man. Do you know what I mean? I gotta go. One thing that this thing showed me is that we don't know when we gotta leave this earth. Yeah. I just can't wait. It's time. Do you know what I mean? It's time. So I'm doing it. I'm releasing it. Do all my publishing. Do every single thing you see. I'm doing myself. Everything, artwork, graphics, the video. I edit all my videos, everything. I don't shoot my videos, I can't shoot them, but I edit them. Everything you see, the marketing is all me. So that's why it's so low and such an uphill. But you know what? It is what it is, man. Yeah, for real, man. It's definitely, and you know, it's more connected to you, isn't it? When it's all in-house as well, you know? So for you, like, obviously the first project came out in 2014. We're talking about an EP that's dropping in 2022. For you personally, how would you say the game's changed during that, I'd say within the last 10 years for you? Digital music has really changed it a lot. You know, once upon a time, you know, you got to stand up and try and sell your CD. You know, most people don't have CD players now. It's changed to a popularity contest and not about necessarily the talent. It's what I find anyway. And actually, I find a lot of the most talented ones are the unknown ones. Like some of the things I find or I come across, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And they haven't got the numbers to back it. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I found it. It's almost reversed. But you know, if you know how to market yourself right now, if you know how to build an audience online, the level of your music isn't too much of a concern, because that's really, okay, you know your little tricks or how to make things go viral, then it can pop for you. So that's how it works. And me being a bit of a dinosaur, I'm slow motion, man, with this organic reach. So I'm gonna start doing some paid ads soon and then see how that works out. So I need to accelerate this thing. Yeah, and I think especially nowadays, in today's climate, man, a lot of people buy into your character and, you know, your personality, man. And I think one thing that definitely shines with you, you know, you know, you're more fun. You do videos with your daughter. You know, you're just enjoying it. You see what I'm saying? And it doesn't seem like I'm trying to be this character or this artist. And I think that's something people generally definitely buy into, man. You know, so definitely looking forward to how the project comes together, man. So in regards to your obviously you're quite active in your career right now. Are there any
artists in the UK scene, or now we've got like social media, the world's a lot smaller, the hip hop world. Is there any like still dream collaborations that you want to do?
Yeah, man, there's plenty of people I want to work with, and there's quite a few that I am working with actually. So there's quite a few. There's probably about 3 remixes of Done Know coming out. There's loads of different artists that's going to be on that. So, but there's quite a few people I've worked with and that I want to work with. The only artist apart from singers that's on Black and Forth, the only artist that's due to rap on there is Skinny Man. Okay. And he's written the verse, he's spat me the verse, he just hasn't recorded it. So I think definitely got to get that locked down. Definitely, because me and Skinny's supposed to work from years ago. Yeah. But there's loads, man. There's loads. Obviously, there's certain American artists I love to work with. I love to produce all like I love to produce a Busta Rhymes and then Mandate, you know what I mean? I would love to shape some music around Busta Rhymes vocals. You know what I mean? Like, I could just, yo, Busta. And so tell him how to rap, yo, Busta, rap on it, do that voice on that. You know what I mean? So that would be crazy. But, you know, I've been blessed, I've been blessed to work with a lot of artists I want to work with. And yeah, man, all we got to do is keep going. You know what I mean? And you never know, as you said, because we can access these people sometimes directly, you might be able to get to work with some of them, So, but if your work should speak for itself, really.
Yeah. Because obviously last year you put out that posse cut, Black, with G-Bag, Parky, Philly, Archer, Jada Exodus, you know, which was incredible, man. So obviously it shows you that, it's a lot easier to bring it together.
I'm going to say something, and I'll say it before, but I'm going to say it now live for everybody, right? I don't know, I'm not quite sure what it is about me, but I don't really get asked to do no features. Like all the artists I know show me enough love and respect, whether it be online when I see them, but I don't never get no asked to do no features. Like, why? You know what I mean? I reach out to artists, they show me love, they come to, why I don't, come on, man. I'm here, you know what I mean? Like, long as the beat slaps, I'm with the concept, you know what I mean? Let's go. So I just wanted to put that out there.
That's for real, man. Do you know what it is? And this is just my interpretation of it, man. A lot of artists are probably just intimidated, because a lot of artists have got fragile egos, man. They don't want to bring K9 on their track for them to get bodied on their own rhythm. So,
think so?
Nah? You don't think so?
Nah. The voice is an instrument. So some people prefer saxophone, some people prefer an upright bass. It doesn't mean upright bass is better, it's what you prefer. So we're all instruments, that's it. So we should put the egos down and say, all right, K9's gonna come on it and he's gonna do his thing. He's not gonna sound like me, I sound like me. So there will be some people that might say, oh, I prefer K9's verse, or there might be some people that prefer their verse. And just be like, as long as the song comes out, the music comes out, we need to work together more, man, Right. And do you think that's just a wider issue in the scene right now, that we don't collaborate enough? Well, when you say the scene, I would have to say, I guess, our cohort of the scene, because if you look at the slightly younger generation, they work together. And what I mean, like, I'm talking about the Kanos, the Gets, the Wileys, the Koji Radicals. Them man work together. They feature on each other's track, they boost, they give each other a strength and a boost, And there are a lot of artists in our cohort that work together as well, but it's very cliquey. I still find it's very cliquey, You know what I mean? So we got to put those egos down and just roll together and just, do our thing.
For real. So when you came in the game, you said one of your biggest inspirations was Black Twang. So in 2022, who would you say is your key inspirations today?
I would say, this is going to be funny, from Black Twang to Black Thought.
Okay.
Black Thought, man, he dropped a couple of solo projects. And what he's done for me, Black Thought, is he's given me permission to rhyme intelligent and intricate again, because I done myself down. I really done myself down in my music. Because I want to be understood, I want it to go further. When I listen to Black Thought, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna write how I want to write. Maybe not as complex as I want to write, but so he gave me permission to do that. He's Black Thought is another level of MC, like savage. J Electronica, another awesome artist. Obviously Andre 3000 always come in anytime he just comes in, he comes and smashes it. There's quite a few dope. Like I like Kendrick, I like J Cole. I like Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak, that guy, man. Because he used to be a rapper, really. Love Breezy, but he's a singer, rapper, but and he's musical. Anderson .Paak, man, leveled. So there's a lot of dope artists out there and stuff, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny actually you mentioned Black Thought, because honestly, when you said to me you don't get called for features, it reminded me immediately of an interview with Questlove, where Black Thought was complaining that he never gets called for features. And that's where the line came in that everybody was intimidated to call Black Thought to jump on their track.
Right.
So obviously things have changed slightly in recent times, but there was a good period where nobody had Black Thought feature on a record. And he just didn't understand what, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah. Madness.
You know?
Let me ask you a question. What do you think of the Griselda thing? What do you think of them?
I think I find it very inspiring. The last interview I did on this platform was with Tommy Evans, and he just dropped his third album within a year, which I thought was, that it instantly reminded me of Griselda and their work rate. And then he mentioned Genesis Elijah, another person that put out 3 albums in a year. And I think that for me, they've kind of changed the game in a sense where, the traditional, and I think it's also inspired Nas as well, but I'll come back to that. But in a sense where we always had the traditional drop an album every other year philosophy. Like you drop the album and then the next year you tour it, and then the year after that you put another album out. But it's like the rules have changed now. So I'm definitely a fan of the consistency and the work rate.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts
Dope. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite amazed that their music is such hardcore hip hop, but it still managed to reach a commercial thing, and they haven't compromised their music, and I love that because it's like there's still a cohort of fans out there in the world that want that grimy hip hop, and there's space for it, man. There's space for every type of hip hop. So I'm happy about that, man. And I like all 3 of them MCs. I love when they go back to back, because once again, I hear instruments. Their voices are instruments, especially Westside Gunn with his high pitch. So as an instrument, when you put that on a beat, it's dope. So I love that. And there's a whole camp that's on that same slow thing. Actually, one of the guys that kind of discovered them, I know, is the Purist from Brighton. I know, a producer. He kind of was working with them before they blew. You know what I mean? So man, like there's basically the story, as you said, is encouraging. It's like whatever you're doing, whatever your brand is, you stay true to that. You work and you graft, and maybe one day, it may not be in your 20s, 30s, maybe even your 40s, your late 40s, but if you graft, you'll get to where you need to get to.
Yeah. And you think about where they came from, like Buffalo, where literally nothing happened in hip hop, like in Buffalo, until they came along. So the fact that they went from like ground level to featured on a Kanye West album, it just goes to show you. Conway did a track with Jay-Z on the soundtrack last year as well. So it just shows you, if you put in the work, man, you can create anything really. And it was fascinating.
Their brand is there's some tough guys. That always helps the brand. If you come with your tough guy and your reputation backs that, trust me, that helps the brand in hip hop. So,
Yeah, for real, man. But that's another key thing, and it also comes to my next question, man. What would you say is the K9 legacy? Like when it's all said and done, what would you say your mark is on the hip hop scene?
It's a big question, man. I can tell you what I'd like. I don't know what it's for people to say. I like them to say, yeah, you know what, this brother came with some vibes, he came with energy, he came with some conscious lyrics that we could actually, you listen to his lyrics, he's actually saying something of value, of, something to uplift and to grow. and we appreciate his contribution to the music. That's what I would like them to say, but we'll see.
Yeah, man. I think that more or less outlines what it is, you know. And yeah, like I said, man, as a platform, we, as you know already, you know, we continue to support, man, and we look forward to this upcoming EP. You know, this interview will be out on Monday, so we're literally within the promotional week, you know. Brilliant. So and the Black on Fourth album when it drops as well.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate Connoisseurs of Hip Hop. I see them always reposting and showing love, and you know what I mean. And that's it. This is it. Like, we need to lift up one another, you know.
Yeah, it's important, man. It's important. And this summer we're gonna get a tour with the album, because obviously, like you said, people don't buy CDs anymore, man. So has it made you rethink your approach to how you put projects out now?
Yeah, I mean, now it's drip feeding them, isn't it? Like, you don't, like, unless you're an established artist, you like Nas just dropped the album, you can do that. He's Nas. But you've got to drip feed them. You say, all right, here's a single. That's me. Take that in. Okay, cool. You got that. Here's another song. So you almost got to give them song by song and kind of build up the appetite. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's a numbers game now. It's quantity, not necessarily quality. And I just have to be like, you know what? Of course I want the numbers. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want the numbers. But I'm not. I don't do music as a career. Would I like to? Absolutely. I'd absolutely want it to be my full-time, but I don't do it as a career. I do it primarily because I love it and it's my passion. I have to feed my passion, or I don't feel like I'm alive. If I'm not doing music, I'm like, you know what I mean? I need to do music in some form or fashion. If I'm not putting it out, I'm producing other artists, I'm in a band, I need to be doing something musical. So everything else is a bonus, but I want it to do as well as possible. I want it to get to as many ears as possible, the right ears. So, you know, I'm going to put that effort in and see what happens, man. So yeah, man, I definitely want, I'd love to see if you can make it the Freshers down at Chip Shop on the 24th.
Oh yeah, that's the launch party.
24th of February, and it's a Thursday evening, and I'm having an open mic as well. So it's an open mic on nothing but K9 beats. So, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's big.
Oliver Sudden is spinning. S Rise is a reggae artist. He's going to be performing, and Tommy Evans will be performing as well. Hosted by Maslow. Nice. So yeah, it's a family affair, and yeah, it should be some love in the building that night, and I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been a while since I did a launch, and the last time I did something was a listening party in Chip Shop, and Ty was there. Okay. So yeah, I'm just excited. I'm performing tonight actually. As soon as I've done this, I'm flying off to Ragga Twins got something in. I'm at my mum's now in Battersea. Ragga Twins got something down the road. So Snuff is DJing. So I just got in there quick, and I'm gonna run one of my reggae tunes down there. I'll do some reggae as well. Wicked.
So are we gonna get so let me ask you this last question, because I know you gotta go. So are we ever gonna get a full reggae K9 project?
Bro, I got them sitting on the computer now. I got them, bro. I made them tunes all day, but I'm like, am I really gonna do that? I can do it, but am I really gonna do that? Is it gonna be an asset or liability? How will people take it? I definitely don't consider myself a reggae artist. It's something like, I do hip hop with a splash of reggae. It's like a little seasoning, a little scallion and thyme, little bit. Yeah. So even though I got them there, I'm more, do you know what I more want to do? I more want to sell those songs. I want to like take that song and bring it to art, say, yo, here you go, here's the melody. I can help rewrite it, whatever, run with that. Give me the P, give me my percentage and go with it. That's what I like. I got a tune right now. I'm telling you, if Protege and Chronixx got on that tune, it's a hit. If they took the tune and they done the tune, because if I put it out, you know what I mean? But listen, if I can get it to them, man, there, trust me. And you got to think big. You never know.
Yeah, it's true.
Never know, man. So the answer is, I don't know. I really don't know. If I do, I might put it out on a different name, under a different name.
I was going to suggest that. You know, wear a mask like Doom, innit? It just come out of reggae artists.
I have to follow my spirit, innit? Whatever my spirit tells me, man. So, yeah.
No, that's real, man. Bro, I want to thank you so much for taking time out to kick it with us tonight, man. And yeah, definitely want to wish you the best of this EP. And yes, 100% I'm going to be at that launch, man. I didn't realize it was a launch party, but now I know it's a launch party. We're going to come and support fully, man. You know, so much respect, man. And yes, bro, appreciate everything you've done up until this point and what you're going to continue to do going forward. You know, it's definitely sound like it's going to be a big year, man. And looking forward to the EP, looking forward to the singles, looking forward to the videos, looking forward to the album when it drops. You know, it's going to be.
There's more coming as well. There's more coming. You know, like I've got an EP I produced for a singer called Vivian, and that's straight soul, straight neo soul vibe. So when you're hearing, you're like, huh? Like, but I produced the whole thing. Right. So that's coming this year. Right. And I'm hoping to drop a couple of singles with a couple of neo soul artists from Nottingham called Melonics that I've done.
Oh, wicked.
So I'm hoping to drop a couple of singles with them. And I'm also doing a theatre production with Mike Lord. That I'm excited about. That's about new institutional racism. So I'm moving into the theatre stuff now. So I'm writing. It's almost like a ghetto Hamilton.
Oh, wicked!
So it's basically gig musical theatre. So I'm writing all the songs, producing, composing everything. I'm writing the whole entire script for the actors to actually act out. So I'm very excited about that. And on top of that, I'm doing a series of short films with some other theatre guys. So I got a lot. Bro, listen, when Ty transitioned and when Luke transitioned, I woke up, man. I woke up. I said, man, I got things to do. I got things to do, man. Stop playing. You can do all this stuff. Just do it.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
You're a gifted individual, man. Why not follow the path? Because you don't know where it will lead. You know, so that's incredible to hear that, man. And definitely looking forward to what next things you could. So is it possible we might get a little acting cameo in one of these productions?
No, I'm not. I'm literally gonna be the behind the scenes. I have done acting though. I have done a short film, but that was years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I played a cop the gangster. Really enjoyed it. So yeah. Let me thank you. Let me thank you and Freshers for all the work you do, all the music you put out, the contribution to the art form, and for taking your time and your energy to ensure that our brother Ty is remembered, and all that effort and working with Jazz Cafe. Do you know what I mean? Because you pulled your finger out and you've done it. A lot of people's talking, a lot of people's urging, but you actually put the work in and done it. You know what I mean? And I know Ty appreciates that. So I want to thank you for that.
Needed, man.
And man, you know,
100%, brother. And so once again, brother, much love. Thank you so much for joining us, man. And I'm gonna wish you all the best again, my brother. So until next time,
man. Hopefully I'll see you in 3D soon. You know what I mean?
Real talk, definitely, brother. 100%, brother. Yeah.
Respect.
Next time.
Easy.
Peace.
When I sing, make you know. Don't know. Nobody could have come touch the floor. Don't know. Original style, so we go. Don't know. King